Government has introduced legislation to increase protection for officers of all arms of national security. During debate on the Miscellaneous Provisions Law Enforcement Officers Bill 2019, Minister of National Security Stuart Young said the legislation seeks to protect the officers from a number of offences that may be committed against them and their families.
By increasing the penalties, the fines and sentences applicable to those who abuse them, threaten them, and do worse than that, we are on the other spectrum, holding them to a different level of accountability and a higher level of accountability. And this particular piece of legislation here today is meant to also tell all of those officers that whilst we are committed to their protection, we are also holding them to a higher level and a standard.
If officers commit any offences, he said, the fines and penalties will also be increased for them. Minister Young said the legislation also seeks to increase penalties for false reporting to all arms of national security, as this practice has been on the increase.
And we're facing it, especially with our E99 service, where persons believe it is appropriate or it is acceptable for them to call in and make false reports to our Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So immediately, one of the first ills in our society that we're seeking to address by this piece of legislation is to increase the penalties where a person causes the wasteful employment of the police time.
In response to this, MP for Naparima, Rodney Charles, said the opposition was willing to support the legislation, but he argued the legislation should have been based on empirical data and not anecdotal.
The legislation is once again based on the premise that increasing the fines dramatically will serve as a deterrent, and it will reduce crime, whether it is instances of officers engaging in activities that are lawful. And while on the surface, this may appear to have some merit, the UNC wishes to inform the government that they may not get the desired results